It is the responsibility of the media to tell the truth. Unfortunately, we live in a society today where the truth does not matter. The media puts out information with no true investigation. The society does not care who it may hurt. It does not care who it may destroy. It does not even care if the information is true or false. They just say things to sell it, and the viewers blindly accept it.
What is a cult? When you hear the word cult, what exactly comes to your mind?
Most of you, if you're honest, would say that it pertains to a group of people who worship one individual and listen to everything they say with no reasoning whatsoever in a form of brainwashing environment.
But really, is this the true meaning of the word cult? Being uninformed in the truth, the problem comes in with language. You have to bear in mind that in order for you to get an overstanding, you must go back and break down the language it was in and the meaning surrounding it.
According to the online etymological dictionary, the word cult comes from the Latin word cultus, which means care, labor, cultivation, culture, worship, reverence, originally intended cultivated. Past participle of colere, to till, from the Proto-Indo-European root word quell, meaning to revolve or move around, sojourn or dwell. So that's an etymological fact.
We as a nation of retained sovereigns are not a religion, thus the word cult does not apply.
We are Nuwapians, and our success is founded in logical truth and moral rights. And it bothers people because we choose to respect and revere our own instead of others.
Within our nation, we have the Free Masonic Order, as well as the Order of Eastern Stars. And if the mainstream media wants to classify us as a cult, then this is an attack on all fraternal orders, be it Freemasons, Eastern Stars, Shriners, fraternities, and sororities.
First of all, it smashes the cult concept. As Freemasons and Shriners, we were trying not to make that public. But because we kept getting slapped in the face with cult this, cult that, cult that, then we had to say, as you can see, it says Nuwapian Grand Lodge. It's not just a chapter, it's a Grand Lodge, right? And our temples are going to spread across the country. And so it's now, in other words, time for us to come forward and let people know that the slander that they keep saying that the cult this and cult that, unless all Freemasons worldwide are a cult, then we're not a cult. You follow them?
Now that you are properly educated, let us now begin exposing the liars and the real child molesters.
Nicole Adah Lopez, aka Nikki Lopez, aka Old Nick. Notice how she wears her name on her forehead. Let us examine the meaning behind her name. Nicole, which is French, from the colloquial Old Nick, meaning the devil.
Adah, which is from the Hebrew Strong Concordance number H5710, means to advance, pass on, or remove.
According to the Jacinius Hebrew Chaldean lexicon, it also means to pass by, to attack in a hostile manner, and it's the Arabic root for the word enemy.
Lopez is from the Spanish origin, meaning son of Lot, deriving from Latin lupus, meaning wolf. Her name explains exactly what she's done and continues to do. It translates to the devil that attacks in a hostile manner while passing her enemies to the wolves.
Why do we say the Old Nick is a child molester? We'll let the trial transcript speak for itself. During the trial, Dr. York's then attorney, Adrian Patrick, who, by the way, was not contacted by People's Magazine before they decided to air a one-sided, biased story against Dr. York and the Nuwapians.
What follows are actual, never-before-seen excerpts from the Malachi York trial transcripts. Alright, now, you have an immunity agreement, correct?
Yes.
Alright, and basically you're trying to protect yourself from being arrested for being a child molester, correct?
It wasn't basically that I was trying to protect myself. They had told us that there was an immunity from the government or whatever in regards to the case.
Who was they?
I think it might have been Joe, who might have mentioned it first. I'm not sure.
But you are a child molester, correct?
I don't consider myself a child molester.
You mentioned that you had sexual intercourse with Kush, correct?
Yes.
And Kush is Kush Martinez.
Yeah.
The one we are speaking about, you having sex with earlier, correct?
Yes.
Adrian Patrick cross-examined Old Nick and made it known for the record that she had an immunity agreement. Now, what exactly is an immunity agreement? According to law.com,
immunity is an exemption from penalties, payments, or legal requirements granted by authorities. A promise not to prosecute for a crime in exchange for information or testimony in a criminal matter, granted by the prosecutors, a judge, a grand jury, or an investigating legislative committee.
Now, if the transcripts are not enough, let us now examine Old Nick's personal handwritten letter. Don't believe a word that we say. Check it out for yourself.
At any point, you can pause the video and read her letter yourself. It won't be long before you see her true nature. At this time, I must emphasize the fact that she was in a sexual relationship with both Kush and Isan, who were children. This makes her the real child molester. Another point I would like to emphasize is the fact that the name Shalomar is in fact Abdul Salam LaRoche, which is another false accuser of Dr. York during the January 2004 trial. This very year, 2018, Abdul Salam LaRoche was taken into custody on May 8, 2018 for a 2002 murder of an elder Caucasian female. Exactly 16 years prior, on May 8, 2002, just so happened to be the same exact day when Dr. Malachi York was taken into custody due to the false accusation from the real child molester and murderer. You mean to tell us that Sheriff Howard Richard Sills, Investigator Tracy Bowen, and FBI agent Joan Cronier didn't know about the murder committed by Abdul Salam LaRoche back in 2002? Did they know about this crime and use it as leverage to get him to lie on Dr. Malachi York? Things that make you go,
No one knew what happened to her on August 21st, 2002, until her family got the news this week.
Ecstatic over it. They were very excited and very pleased and emotional, of course.
Pamela was living in this apartment complex at the time of her murder on West Broad Street in Athens. No one had seen her for quite some time until one of the residents here complained about a stench coming from one of the apartments. Management goes in and they find her lifeless body. Police say she had been stabbed multiple times.
Our detectives at the time and our forensic units processed the scene. We did collect evidence there that we believe that belonged to the killer.
Days, weeks, months, and years fly by, but still no justice for Pamela. And then investigators got lucky this week. They arrest 34-year-old Abdus Salam LaRoche of Decatur. He's now locked up here at the Clark County Jail.
Although Abdul Salam LaRoche testified against Malachi York and lied on the stand, he later, on November 21, 2008, did a legal notarized, signed affidavit stating how he lied on the stand during the January 2004 trial against Dr. Malachi York. Another thing that the public should be made aware of is the fact that many of the people that left the community or was kicked out of the community were disgruntled because Dr. York was developing a model community of peace, with integrity being the core. This came with rules and regulation regarding conduct, set rules about what was and what was not accepted, based primarily on high morality. Unfortunately, because of rules, many felt they were deprived of living a life of debauchery. As you can see in Nikki's letter, she wanted to smoke and steal and drink alcohol and have promiscuous relationships, and this she and many others considered being free. The strong desire to do what one pleases drove people to conspire to destroy such a community at any means necessary, even to the point of lying, and it worked well with the Putnam County Sheriff Department, who did not want such a community in existence in the first place. So this was an easy way in for them. You see, most prestigious black communities are often destroyed from within. The irony of it all is they thought Dr. York was the head, when in actuality he taught us all to be a head. For usually, when you take the head, the body falls. But look at us now. We are still flourishing, still thriving. They can't stop us. They can't stop Pop.
Now, let's talk about Ruby Garnett.
Who is she?
I don't know.
Was she even a part of the case?
Nope.
Then why is she even talking?
I think she's trying to sell a book.
What book?
It doesn't matter. What we do know, according to her, is her real name is Valerie, and she was known by Jamila while she was a part of the community. She claimed she came in the community as a co-wife at the age of 20 or 21 in upstate New York, and she personally never witnessed Dr. York do anything to any little children.
I go by Ruby for my book, but my name is Valerie. But when I was in there, I was known as Jamila, and I was one of his concubines and his harem, what have you, if people can identify with that terminology. I never personally witnessed him do anything to any little children.
With all due respect, our hearts go out to anyone who was ever molested. That is a harsh and cruel crime. In the same breath, however, we are totally against lies. If you were, in fact, molested, please say the name of the real people or persons who actually molested you, because it is not fair to conspire against and jail an innocent man while the true molesters are still walking freely.